Welcome back to Beg, Borrow, Steal, where we've come back way earlier than I was intending because we've made it to the third round of the Copa del Rey and we've been handed a big tie against a La Liga side. So we've been drawn against Athletic Bilbao, not our first big tie in the Copa del Rey. We've had Real Madrid in years gone by. We always seem to be drawn at home for these. I'm now thinking, is that a rule in Spain where the team from the lower league or the lower position ends up being drawn as the home team? Because looking at these fixtures, well, all of the big teams seem to be playing away. So maybe there's a little quirk in the Spanish Cup draw that I wasn't previously aware of. We've only played 2 games since we last saw you. It's a win and it's a defeat. We beat Cartagena 1-0 in our last episode before we played Eibar in the Cup. We snuck past them 1-0. We were pretty good in that game, to be honest. Should have scored a second, maybe a third goal. But then we played Barcelona B. We did not play well in this fixture at all, to be brutally honest. We managed to get an XG of above 1. And that's primarily because we missed a late penalty that could have got us a point from this game. Otherwise, we were poor and Barcelona ran riot a little bit and we had some really poor performances. Mosquera below a 6. Rossi with that penalty miss, 6.3. KC and the Sunshine Band, 6.2. Guelphy, 6.1. It was not a pretty performance at all. If we play anywhere like that against Athletic Club this afternoon, we are going to get our backsides handed to us on a platter. But before we get out there and play that tie, in our last episode we had a look at scouting. I thought today we might just have a look at our coaches. So as you can see from those little bar charts, we're actually not too bad off when it comes to the quality of our coaching. We actually lead the division when it comes to elements of training such as attacking coaching. Lag a little bit behind when it comes to the goalkeeper and the fitness training. But we do have the potential to make some changes over the next few months. A lot of our coaches have been with us for a couple of years. The ones that are applying for jobs with us don't really seem to be too much of an upgrade. Our current coaches are mostly on contracts that have expired, so we could release them without having to pay any compensation if better people start applying for jobs over the next few months. I think since we got promoted to this division, our club reputation has been playing catch up a little bit, which is why the quality of players that we could recruit has not been that great, and the quality of staff that we could recruit has not been the best either. But after 2 seasons, I'm hoping, of survival at this level, we might start to be able to attract not just better players, but better staff as well. So let's show you a little deep dive into the staff we've got, and maybe you can let us know where you think our main areas for upgrades are. So this is how we've got our coaches set up at the moment. We're asking a couple of them to coach in multiple areas because we don't have enough staff. And the board won't allow us to invite any more coaches onto the roster. You'll also see I'm contributing absolutely nothing to our coaching. I'm afraid I'm still stuck on a National B licence. We'll ask for another coaching badge in a moment so you can watch me get rejected. There's better news elsewhere though. We've got a strong assistant manager in top patron Scott Thomas. Only a balanced personality, but look at that level of discipline. Scott accepts absolutely no nonsense out there on the training ground and is a superb assistant boss. Unfortunately, we've got him coaching both the possession tactical and the possession technical at the moment. If we could get him to just coaching in one area, well, it would make him a much stronger addition. So we really could do with those extra coaches. For our goalkeeping coaches, we've got 2. They're both 3.5-star ones. We've got Unai Alba. We've got goalkeeper distribution of 14, handling of 12, shot stopping of 14. That's as good as we can attract, more or less. And then we've got Andy Woodman, who's got pretty much similar kind of stats. Good determination about him. But we could do with upgrades in those departments, as probably we could when it comes to the fitness coaches as well. We've got Javi Arnedo, who's got good motivating, but fitness coaching of only 13. We've got Manolo Segovia as well. Better fitness coaching this time, but those mental stats, the determination, the level of discipline, the motivating, not quite as high. We've got another coach from England called Bradley Johnson, who seems to be the only one that the board send on coaching courses. They must rate him. He's got some good mental attributes like the level of discipline and motivating. Good attacking coach, tactically and technically. Not quite as strong. Another Englishman on the staff is Paul Watton, good defensive coach. Again, I like those determined coaches with good levels of discipline. And then we've got a coach called Stefan Moulon, who is 58 years old, bit of an all-rounder, probably best in the defending category, but maybe we might need an upgrade in that department as well. So that's who we've got coaching the side at the moment. You can obviously tell us who our weak links are down in the comments below. Let's go into the boardroom and see if we can get another coaching badge under our belts. Okay, into the old boardroom then. We'll make the request, personal, start a coaching course. And when we get to the end of our game with Athletic, we'll see whether they've got back to us with a positive or a negative response. So this is how we're going to line up for the game against Athletic Bilbao. I think we'll pull Rosanos back for this fixture to be a more conventional right back. I don't think we want to be having him bombing too far on against a much better opposition than us. There is a chance, by the way, that when we come back for our next episode, there might be a new recruit or two. We've got a couple of loan offers in and potentially a permanent signing coming in as well on a free transfer. We'll show you those next episode if we get them to commit. You'll also see that missing from our team today is going to be young Paco, who has picked up an injury. He's already been out for the last 2 or 3 weeks. Probably looking at least another 2 weeks out. Fortunately, it's not affected his training development so far, but I'm worried that these hours are going to sink downwards over the next couple of weeks. We could do with getting him back in the side because we do miss him, and we've had some pretty poor performances from our 3 attacking midfielders in the last couple of games. We're going to see how we do today. Winning would be an absolute miracle, I think. Even taking them to extra time, I think, is beyond us. But you never know, miracles can happen in FM22. So here we go. As the home team, we are in our white shirts. This is going to be a difficult game for us. In terms of our strengthening, by the way, there is a little bit of a dilemma as we're flung into an early highlight. We've got 3 potential players coming in, 2 of them on loan. The unfortunate news is all 3 of them would be non-EU players. And we are only allowed to register 2 non-EU players for our squad, and we're already at our maximum quota. So in order to get 2 of these 3 players in, we'd have to deregister 2 players that are already in the squad. One of those would be Guelphy. His contract's up at the end of the season. I'm thinking about letting him go. By the way, we're just going to pause the game. Look at how we're doing for the stats, by the way. I think we're going to throw out an encouraging shout. One of the other players that we have as our foreign quota is the Argentine striker, whose name I can't even remember, who only ever comes off the bench and hasn't been very good. So I'm quite prepared to deregister both of those players if we can get these new signings in. One of them could be a new left back, by the way. That could be a useful addition. It's not escaped me, by the way, that we've got all the way into half time. We've registered more shots on target, more shots overall, and got a better XG. I can only assume that maybe Athletic are playing a few of the youngsters, but there's a tie potentially in the balance here. Let's tell the boys they're doing a good job. Okay, we've got Bruno Guelphy not playing well. That's standard. And we've got Obladar at left back. He's not playing well either. I mean, we come to expect that from him. If he gets above a 6.5, he's having a great game. No highlights as we approach the hour mark. But we're doing pretty well on the XG. I think we need to get into the tactics. I think we need to think about an offensive change. We've got Guelphy. He's up to a 6.6. It's still not stunning, though, is it? Could we get Lander into the game instead? We're going to move him out onto the left. He's going to be the inverted winger. KC is going to be a conventional winger. Let's just put him on support. We're going to have Rosanas backing him up down the right side. I might even focus our play down the right for the last 15 minutes or so. We've got a chance here. We're doing pretty well. We're into the highlights. We've got the throw. Mosquera's beaten a man. He's got a ball in. They've headed it away. Maybe this is not our highlight after all. Maybe they're going to do some counter-attacking on us. They've launched the ball forward. In fact, it is going to be their highlight. They're through. And we've got work to do. Tell me that that is not a multi-million-pound Williams that they've got on the ball. They're taking a long time to get into our box, but they have. And it is Inaki Williams. They are playing some decent players. So I guess we've done well to hold them as long as we have. that given the balance of the stats, I'm a bit disappointed to be behind. I did see Williams pop up on screen. I thought, please don't be. What's he going to be worth? 25, 30 million pounds? He's rifled one into the net. That's the first time that they've breached our back line, but they have indeed done it. I think we need to pause, and I think we're going to have to go a little bit more offensive then. I don't want to push the lines up too much. Maybe we throw Rosanas a little bit further forward. Maybe we ask Kevin Carlos to be an inside forward. He's a right footer. That's not perfect. Maybe we might even ask Mosquera to get a little bit more involved. Never plays well as a shadow striker. Everybody tells me it's the best role in FM22. We're going to give it a go. Obrador is on a 6.2. The goal didn't even come down his side. Let's throw on the youngster Yordi. And we're back out there again. Okay, we've got 20 odd minutes to try and rescue this game. Let's throw out a shout and let's potentially push the lines up a little bit. This could be asking for trouble. Let's go one notch up. And let's close them down more. Let's also get the shout out. Come on, let's demand more. 15 minutes. We've got a highlight. I was about to sneak it up to an attack, but we've got a highlight. And they're in again, aren't they? They're in again. We've pushed that line up and they're in behind us. I knew it was asking for trouble. Here's Artola. Don't dive in. Don't dive in. Should have dived in. Oh, why didn't he dive in? I was imploring him to make the tackle. And now we are out of the cup. I think we played so well for 60 odd minutes of this game. Oh, and if only he'd have listened to me, he could have dived in there or there. And that player could have come across and dived in as well. I'm not convinced by our goalie, by the way. Never been convinced about our goalie. He doesn't seem to save anything with his hands. We've got Mosquera playing poorly. We've got 8 minutes left. I guess a goal here. And we're back in contention. We could throw the kitchen sink at it late on. But it would have to be a goal here. We've got Rosanas. He's hit the byline. Rossi's in. Lander's in. Lander, who the chat down below are all saying his time is up. His race is run. Lander's like a son to me. His contract is up at the end of the season. He is in no way cut out for this level of football. He's such an old warhorse, isn't he? We pause. We go back into the tactics. What else can we do? We could throw Yordi further forward as a wing-back on attack. We could throw Alonso just in front of the back four. Let's ask him to be a half-back, dropping in and making a back three. We've got one more sub up our sleeve, probably not based on performance, maybe just on fitness. Let's do it in front of the back four. Let's ask Pacheco to come on and try and protect what's going to be a pretty vulnerable defence. We're going to attack. And I think that's all the changes that we're going to make. What have we got? 7 minutes plus a bit of stoppage time to try and drag ourselves back into this game. We're going to shout demand more once more. Now we're going towards injury time. The highlights are not coming. I fear the chance is not going to come. We go on very attack. It might be too late. We've got one last effort. 45 seconds left. We've given the ball away in an advanced area. And now we're chasing them. Could we win it back? We have O'Brien, Pacheco, Mickey. There could be a chance in here. Lander, KC. Oh, KC had the chance. Lander potentially with an assist. And we've got a corner. This is grasping at straws now. We've not scored from a corner from a long time. And I think that is going to be all she wrote. KC had a great chance. Threw on goal, just the keeper to beat. Look at these match stats. We've got an XG of 2 against a top flight club. And they played some players. They really did. Inaki Williams is worth... All right, he's not for sale. We can't see, but he's got a cap for Spain. He's 31 years old. He's paid 190 grand a week. Well, that's several times more than our entire squad. I reckon we've done all right there. Okay, it's time to go back and see what the board have said about our coaching badge. So here we go then, out of the cup and rejected by the board. We have to be selfish here. We fear that if you continue to make the sort of progress, the club could lose you to a bigger and better opportunity. Well, I'm a national B-rated coach. I'm way below anybody else in this division. I'm not sure why you're so fearful. I think we've only had one job offer the whole time I've been here. Let's beg. Oh, now they're happy to grant the request. It's never a problem to improve your skills. Well, that seems like a bit of a turnaround, but we'll take it. So we've got a coaching badge on the way. We've performed well in the cup, even though we're out of it. And we've slipped down the league a little bit. There's still work to do. When we come back for our next episode, we'll have played around 30 games or so. Can we squeeze ourselves back into playoff contention? Will we have a couple of new recruits that have strengthened us? Come back for the next episode and find out as we continue to beg, borrow and steal our way to mediocrity.